I'm Roderick Wolgamott. I run Romero Studios. I'm a designer of tree houses and builder. I spend my life in the forest. In 1997, I kind of built my first real adult tree house, suspended by cables, and now there's been about 65 tree houses all over the world.
What kind of person chooses to put a tree house on their property?
It's pretty diverse. The third tree house I did was for Sting and Trudy Styler at their place in Italy. I was there for like 4.5 months with my team, and that kind of launched me in a way, because, and then I got to do Donna Karan, Julianne Moore, and Val Kilmer, and Darren Aronofsky, and people like that. I live in the East Village, New York, for 16 years now. I have a tree right outside my window. I'm kind of in a tree house.
Right. So you have a house that's near a tree.
Yes, exactly.
But you don't actually live in a tree house.
Yeah, it's not suspended by a tree.
How do you call them? What you do?
They are kind of luxury tree house. But I also do volunteer work with the tree houses and make them educational. Basically, I'll work on, a free one for a park to, $250,000 treehouse. I think, anyone should have a treehouse.
How do you make a treehouse that can sleep 10 as opposed to the child's improvised version?
Because we got this hardware that was developed by Michael Garnier called the Garnier Limb, the GL. It's pretty intricate, but it's allows the tree to move and the treehouse stays still, so that you're not pounding nails into a tree. Actually, we don't even use nails in the entire house at all. We only use screws.
Okay, screws, yes.
But we're also timber framing. And also I'm only using reclaimed and sustainable lumber.
Okay.
So I'm not contributing to some clear cut somewhere when I'm building a tree house. That nail going into the tree, it's damaging, and as it grows in girth, it's just going to pull that nail straight out of it and the 2x4. I think, again, that's why they've become more popular. It's because of the sustainability of it. The tree house is going to be there as long as the trees are there. It's not the other way around. It might last 50 to 60 years. I've got some that are 20, 25 now.
What do you think are usually the motivations?
I think people come at it from, different spectrums. It's like you got a kid coming up and it's like, wow, I can't believe a treehouse. And then you have an adult come up and suddenly they smile and they come up and they have that childhood memory. It's just that smile that I see every single time. Just getting off of one plane, like, the ground, and then coming up into another realm, basically. And then you're in nature, and the treehouse can be like a porthole into nature. I love that part of it. Deep in the forest, over a waterfall, right on the fringe. A lot of the ones that are on the fringe are really great because, again, it's a place you can go, and they might have lost that connection. That connection to nature, for me, is one of the most important connections we can have. I mean, it's what makes us, ground ourselves in a way.
I wonder if maybe we can see some of what makes this thing work.
A visual is really important because you'll see that the GL, and you'll see the arrestor bracket, and then you'll see your backup cable, and then you'll understand the safety of it. I mean, we could put 2 elephants up here in this treehouse and it wouldn't go anywhere.
Where do we stand in terms of sustainability?
It's the most important part of our builds and design. We'll go out into the woods, we'll find fallen trees, put them on our mobile mill, and we'll harvest our own stuff out of fallen trees. And then also we'll go to different lumber yards that have like the cutoffs from stuff they're not going to use, like the raw bark. Usually they just give it to us. Everything in our treehouse is reclaimed, or salvaged. The windows, like the windows in here come from the 1840s. The door was, from Morocco. Yeah, the door itself will build out of windows, which is amazing. I mean, it's a fun part of our job is going and salvaging, going into the salvage yards, finding the windows, finding the doors. And if we can't find the doors, we'll just make them ourselves.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure meeting with you.
You too.